Yo, live in the kitchen. I'm back, episode 70. Today's episode, I'm gonna talk about Muli Abu Jamal. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was a political activist. He was also a cab driver, and he had several other jobs throughout his life and career. He was also a part of the Black Panthers of Philadelphia chapter. He used to help with the breakfast program. He ended up becoming a conservative writer for them. People call it left-wing writing today. He basically was like a political target, maybe at an early age, and even as he got older, that might have led to him getting framed up for the murder of a Philadelphia cop in 1981, which he was convicted later on that year, but then he was sentenced to death row in 1982. But even to go back a little bit before the murder, long before that, they had a hold on and pause. Me go back for a second. I got a guest with me today. You want to tell him who you are, brother?
Internationally known Interstate P, man.
All right, welcome to the show. I'm sorry, I had got caught up in it real quick. I'm being rude. I got niggas in the studio with me doing the show. I don't mean to call you a nigga, bro, but you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But back to what I was saying. They had a movement out in Philadelphia. It was called The Move. It was a political organization, but you know, COINTELPRO, FBI, they gonna say something different. They gonna say it's a gang or niggas trying to get too strong, basically. But the movement was headed up by the guy named John Africa and his wife Ramona Africa, and he was a part of that. But they had a bombing where they actually came into a part of Philadelphia and bombed the whole block in 1979, and they ended up killing 5 kids and 6 adults. Now, how does that sound in modern time? In 1979, that is just not too long ago.
Nah.
That people was getting bombed. You hear what I'm saying? Like, people was on TV and they described it as being in Beirut.
But as far as, you know, those times, it's kind of coexisting with today because that's going on overseas. So I don't think people really manifest on what's going on. There's so much propaganda, you know, shameless shit that's going on and continuously people just accepting it and going for it. Like,
bad shit. I'm about to say. So in 1979, the guy, Mr. Jamal, he was a journalist. He was a freelance journalist, and he wrote on the bombing. And his writing had gotten noticed. I feel like from that day, maybe, or even before when he's a part of the Black Panthers, that they already had him in mind, we going to get rid of him. You believe that could be a fair assessment to say?
not really.
No?
Nah, not really.
I mean, tell me why. Elaborate. I want to hear this.
I mean, it's many different ways to articulate it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but do you think that the Move organization, the Black Panthers played a part in him getting framed up for a murder?
as far as going against their own?
Yeah. Do you feel like the cops framed him up for that murder because they knew that they could get him out of the neighborhood?
Yeah, because people in higher places, they able to manipulate any type of transaction or dealings that's occurring. We got a president right now that blatantly went out and said they had a quid pro quo going, and it don't matter because he a president, and two, he rich, and three, he white.
Yeah, but long before that, they had the cartel, bro, for black people.
Yeah,
to get rid of him.
Yeah,
they followed around Malcolm X while he was in Africa, and
waiting for him.
Yeah,
I know,
but
you got to see the depth of things. Sometimes it's more than meets the eye.
All right, so that's true. But leading up to this, all right, he did his homework. He went out and wrote about it. He started getting press about it. People was interviewing him about it. Then, now let's fast forward to 1981. He see his brother chilling with another person. The police fucking with them. He goes and try to help his brother and defend his brother.
Yeah.
He end up, fighting, tussling with the cop. He end up getting shot as well as the cop dying.
Okay.
So,
but you think they would use his brother to get framed or not?
His brother couldn't testify. They told him against their best judgment not to testify, not to show up at court.
But if you a Panther.
His brother. This was his actual brother.
Listen, you're a part of an organization that's strong like that, and you going to war.
This was 1981.
Yeah,
the Panthers was probably already disbanded since 77, maybe. So 4 years removed from that.
It's iffy. It's
because remember after, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale and Frank Hampton, all them dudes started dying and getting on drugs, that the movement got weak. You feel what I'm saying? It
got weak, some people, it determines on how.
Those was the three main influence and leaders of the crew. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still people that fight.
There's still people that do it, but their leadership went down because they three strongest people, the three head
not founding members.
What they was still keeping the main 21 or some shit. The main 20, a part of the main 21, they got basically the chapters of where they needed. Because we got to remember Bobby Seale and the other guy. What's his name? I just said his name. Now Bobby Seale, Fred Hampton was in Chicago. Bobby Seale and Huey Newton was in Oakland. They had chapters in different places, but they was the main leaders. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After they died, who else was going? Who else was going to become? Who was up and coming? You see, Pac's father, he tried to do his own thing, that black nationalist.
Yeah.
And you see what happened with that. He ended up getting framed for going to jail for a bank robbery that he didn't even participate in, and a murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But leading up to 1981, and him that night when he was trying to defend his brother from getting shot, the police was already
targeting
his brother, and they was beating him with the nightstick as he came up on him. Tried to break up the fight. The gun went off. But they said it was another guy that night, but they never revealed him until they started doing research about it and investigating. You feel me? The dude name was Robert Hawkins. I never even knew from hearing the story from mad years ago, I never knew that it was another person that was in the car or that his brother was there. I thought that they just basically made it seem like he ran up on the cop and shot him. Like he just ran down in cold blood and just killed him.
But it's the thing, man. Like, in time, things are tell, because they got all types of forensics and things they didn't have before. Like they knew that was more than one shooter. Well, they been knew it was more than one shooter when it came to John F. Kennedy. So things like that would be revealed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as right now, we can only go off of what we know. It ain't too much, but it's going to be different opinions because of different factors.
And then also, listen to this. Let's bring this into perspective. Another thing that's we gonna hold up. We gonna bring this into perspective. We gonna bring. We're gonna bring it into perspective. Prior to them catching that case in 1979, the government sued the city of Philadelphia for police brutality. They knew that the mayor at the time and the police used practices against black people to get them. Later on that year, they went on to go bomb them with C4. So you can't tell me at no point in time he was a part of that. The Watergate scandal even revealed that they had corruption going on in Philadelphia. That was a part of, that's why they was trying to get the president out at that time. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If all of these things is coming out and they true, you don't think that, like, at least think that he was going to be targeted for something?
Yeah. But you got to see how in depth that person, individual is, because it.
The dude was a cab driver and he was a freelance journalist and he had another little odd job that he did. It wasn't like he was working for the federal government and, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was out doing secret things. All right, so I don't know. It's just weird. Like, and then not only on top of that. All right, so in 1981, when y'all bring him in a trial, I gave him a speedy trial. Y'all bring him to trial. Y'all got 3 people on there. 2 of them already worked for the police. One lady, y'all coerced her into a story to get her off from a 5 to 15 sentence. And then later on in 1997, she went on TV some years later, like 16 years later, and said that she lied. And they put her in jail for a check. That she did in New Jersey 20 years ago. 10 years ago, I mean, prior to that. So I mean, that's just how crazy life is and how that serious of a case it might have been that they knew that shit was, some of the shit was framed up, that they did all of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then y'all had a cop that said that he didn't hear him screaming. He didn't hear him saying that he made any statements. He ain't confessed to nothing. Then they heard a judge and a prosecutor overheard some people talking in the hallway saying that they wanted to fry the nigga, even though he didn't do it. Then y'all end up killing the dude y'all thought ended up killing the cop anyway. Y'all killed the other dude that was in the car with Jamal's brother. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Killed them. The dude, Robert Hawkins, they killed them.
It's tricky, man. It's a tough analysis, man. It's a tough analysis, especially when you're dealing with our people.
Then they had the prosecutor on tape blatantly saying that he don't want to get black people on the stand that are smart or know people that know about reasonable doubt. They blatantly just like let him not. Then on the top of that, after he was post sentenced, like some years, like maybe 20 years later, he had got his sentence overturned to life, but the court contested the sentence, so he's still on death row. What kind of shit is that? You don't do it sound? Do any of that sound funny to you?
No, I don't. It don't. It don't. But you know, I got like me. I got my own opinion about it. Like I feel as though that these people are so corrupt, they could do little to nothing to make something look like something else. It's multiple